Yeah, so since the Islamic State Corps or ISIS Central in Iraq and Syria lost the last of its territory around Baghouz in March 2019, there's been a decentralization to the affiliates, the branches, the franchise groups all over the world. I wrote a book called After the Caliphate where I kind of looked at what all these different regional branches stood for. How powerful were they? Where might they be headed in the future? And that book, which I published in 2019, projected that ISIS-K would be among the most potent of all the affiliates. And I feel, even more strongly in that sense, uh, given where we are now. This is a group with transnational objectives. All you need to do is look at its propaganda. It tells you exactly what it feels, and I think we need to listen to these groups. It also has the capabilities, which are growing. If you listen to CENTCOM General Kurilla talked about just recently in March, saying, they could be 6 months out from a transnational capability. So this is in the broader constellation of jihadi groups. I would put ISK at the very top of groups that we need to worry about in Europe and the West more broadly.
Okay, Colin, let's follow up on that, because you paint some real concerns there and talking about being the most potent insurgent group out there, or perhaps right now. What should, not just people in Afghanistan, but what should people all over be concerned about? We've read that U.S. generals are concerned that perhaps within 6 months, 8 months, a year, these ISK could lash out at the United States or other areas in the West.
Look, we know, go back to April 2020, there was an ISK plot to work through the Central Asian diaspora in Europe to target U.S. military bases in Germany. So the intent is there. They're growing the capability. I think what we should be concerned about, in the U.S., I think civilians everywhere, is, the fact that bandwidth is stretched. Everybody is paying close attention, and rightfully so, to the conflict in Ukraine. All the conversation is about great power competition between the United States and China, to a lesser extent Russia. And, resources have shifted significantly, particularly post-COVID, back to, thinking about nation states, and counterterrorism in many ways has been de-emphasized. And that's a concern in and of itself.